admission.
Hello, everybody. Surprise! This is going to be our last versus virus lunch and learn week. And because it is our last week, we have packed it up with a lot of meaningful presentations for you. We are having one presentation today. We'll be having one more on Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then we will have one more on Friday over lunch. So get ready to learn. And if you're munching, even better for you. Today, we have a very special guest. Our special guest today is Simon Bremer. Simon Bremer is one of our very special mentors. He has been helping our teams to clarify their ideas, to push their projects forward. And he has done it not only for the incubator, but also for the Versus Virus hackathons. So, Simon, thank you very much for being here for our participants, for our incubatees. And thank you very much for mentoring. Today, you're going to be in a different role. You're wearing a different hat and you will be presenting. So can you please tell us a little bit, what are you going to present?
Yes, of course. We had a lot of titles for this presentation, and I tried to make it really short. That I believe, and I even can prove that winners are always authentic. So when you turn that around, you have to be authentic if you want to win something. If you want to win a pitch, if you want to present your product, how you present your product, and how you make your product. If that's not authentic, it's what you will see in the presentation. Uh, okay, when I say it's hard, it's nonsense, but that's very hard. So, but if it's not authentic, uh, you can't interact with other people, you can't interact with other companies because they don't know where you're standing for. And if it's not coming from heart and if it's not really authentic, um, you, in most of the cases, you are a loser.
I love it. I love
Hmm.
that you brought the word heart in. So let's start. Let's see, where do we start when we
Yeah.
want to work and speak from our heart? So thank you for being here for our incubatees and for all people who are watching us on YouTube. Please take it away.
Okay, thank you very much. So thank you that you're here for this presentation. Uh, I would say that if there are afterward somebody want to ask a question or want to talk about something, I will be there. And I would say let's start the presentation. So that's me, a little bit younger, but as you see on the second slide, I can tell a little bit what I'm doing and where I'm from. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm born in 1958. I studied communication, and after that, I did a lot of different things. I was playing in children theater. I was working as a cook. I did some teaching as for actor courses, and I came slowly in, let us say, the normal business, and I worked as a freelancer, as trainer and advisor. Um, Before I go further with what I did, I want to make a little bit difference what a trainer, an advisor, and a mentor is. Because in the most programs, in the most hackathon programs, I think they misuse the word mentor. They're looking for experts or the advisor. And a train, if you imagine you want to run a marathon, you need a trainer who trains you, who said, okay, you have to walk every day 2 hours, and um, uh, he will coach you through the program so that you learn how to run a marathon. Then you need a consultant or an advisor, and he wants to try to sell you something. He sells you the best shoes, he sells you the best uniform you can wear, and then skip a mentor. A mentor doesn't have to have any experience on marathons. He try to help you with his life experience, with his working experience, and so he doesn't have to be an expert on the case of a marathon. And um, the most of the mentor jobs are doing a lot of mentor jobs, um not only in hackathons or in the incubator. Uh, the most of them, I really choose them on if they are important for me, if they are social, if they are sustainable, if it's going about climate, and then I do that for free because a mentor tries to give experience to the people who he mentored. Then I did some complete other thing, very technical, integrating in companies an ERP system from Microsoft and try to combine that with the processes they are going on in those companies. Uh, in one of those companies, I came in touch with lean management, and lean management has become very important in my life because it's a way to do things, avoiding waste. So avoiding time waste, I'm avoiding energy waste. So trying to do things smart. I lived since 2019 in Riga, in Latvia, and have there my small little company. On the moment, we do everything online uh, because the start of Corona in Latvia was very, very low. There were very low infected people. On the moment, as usual in Europe, it's raising up, and everybody tries to keep the distance and to keep working. So we do it online. Um, on the second slide, you see the Netherlands. And I want to tell you something about the Netherlands. Something I think you already know. The Netherlands is a beautiful country, a little country with nice tulips, with windmills, with all the people wearing wooden clocks. Um, and we have a very nice history with koek. Koek is a cake, is something we really eat much. And we have in Holland, we have de gevulde koek. And because you don't know how a gevulde koek looks like, I have a picture from it on the next slide. And that's the gevulde koek. De gevulde koek is very plat, is filled with a little bit of mandel. And we have a lot of sayings in Holland or in the Netherlands about koek. And I've taught, I just choose three of them. And so you can learn a little bit of Dutch. Dat is lariekoek, iets voor zoete koek slikken. Oh, dat it is nonsense. We also call people gevulde koek, and that are people who didn't touch us, who didn't bring us anything. So they are not important, and we call them gevulde koek. On the moment, you don't think, well, what he's talking about, gevulde koek. We want to talk about communication. We want to talk about how can we be authentic? How can we talk? How can we bring our product, uh, our solution, authentic to other people? I come to that After I told you and I think you already know the important color in German, in the Netherlands is orange. And if you don't know how orange look, I brought orange with me. So that's orange. If you go into sports, if you go into a celebration in Holland, everybody is wearing orange. It's they have orange hats, orange flags, orange everything in orange. We have orange drinks, we have orange food. So uh, we are in the Netherlands very familiar with orange, and that's why we have a second favorite food, and that's the real orange. The real orange, and I've also a picture of it. The real orange is round, has most of the time a green leaf, and is very, very healthy. And people who act like an orange, they are middle in life, they interacting their feelings, they interacting their thoughts, they're in all ways and not only flat like a gevulde koek. We can make it very simple in the next slide I brought you. You see on the upper side, you see the gevulde koek. He's interacting just to two sides. The orange is round, is interacting to every side, is um, is interacting with people on different levels. It's interacting about feelings. It's interacting about what you think. It's interacting how you're standing there. It's interacting how you look like. It's interacting with everything. So I think the question is very simple. When I want to be authentic, when I want to be me, I want to interact, I need to be an orange. Because if you interact as a cook, it's only, for example, it's only on the brain side, it's only intellectual, or it is only about feelings and there is no intellectual. It's only about money. It's only about what you're wearing, how you look like. It's very, very flat. And how do we come to interact as an orange? I need the next slide. When we want to interact as an orange, we have to search for blocker. What's a blocker? A blocker is everything you learned and you use to protect yourself. So, for example, yeah, I can't help, I had a very poor childness, and you're using that your whole life because it's a mechanism that you don't be aware of it that you use it just because it's there. You made this mechanism sometime for a situation that it was important for, but on the moment it's not important anymore. It's a blocker. It doesn't let you be authentic. So uh, it's the same um, if you um, okay. I tell you that on an example. What was a blocker for me? Um, I used to judge very quickly about people. So in a few seconds, when I met them, I said, "Okay, you're right, you're wrong," and I need that in a time that I was very unsure. I didn't know what my place was in the world. I didn't know what I want to do, and I need to block bad influence. I got older, and I noticed sometimes that blocker is still there. I judged very quick and said, okay, you're bad, you're good. And what did it bring for me? I didn't get any surprises anymore. There were no people who surprised me and said, oh, you can do this, or they surprised me with something emotional, or they surprised me with something very intellectual. So the blocker had no function anymore. And every human being had blockers. And if you want to be authentic, try to find your blocker and try to destroy your blocker for the moment you want to present something, or you want to uh, make up your mind how you want to present something, or how you want to sell your products. Because if you don't destroy the blocker, or disconnect from the blocker, you can't be authentic, because you're using a mechanism you don't need on the moment. Be orange. I told a lot about the orange. Be an orange. Try to be total. Try to be everything what you've got. So it's not only emotional. It's also your intellectual being. It's also how your body is feeling. Try to hear of your body. Try to feel your body. What it's doing with you, because sometimes I'm in real-time presentation, an offline presentation, and when I notice I sit like this, I already notice that I don't get any impact from what other people are telling me. So I try to open me and try to use another try to open my body, try to open my mind, because if I don't be open myself, people are not open to me, because there is no interaction. The third step is less is more. And um, in the hackathons and in the incubator and in programs like How to Change the World, I all most of the time I notice people are killing me with information. They uh, did think about something, about the problem. They made a solution. They made all the steps in it, and they give me so much information. I almost, I'm I'm almost killed by the information. So I have to organize one of my blocker I've got, because I don't want to be killed. So if you interacting, if you are communicating, just try to be authentic and use only that what you need, because all the other information somebody can ask, can you can give them later on. So but if you smashing something with all the information, and uh, he's almost killed by this information because it's so much, it doesn't work, because everybody has his own blocker, and I'm sure that the most of the people have blocker for too much of information, because they can't work with it. Can I have the next slide? Okay, that's again about blocker. First of all, you have to accept that you have blocker, because if you say, I don't want it, I don't, I, uh, I don't want to have those blocker, I hate it, it doesn't work. You have to accept them, because uh, you made those blocker in a time you need them. So they were wordful. And so you have to accept them, you have to research them if you still need them. And you have to face them, you have to almost have a talk with them. So what did you do for me? I'm sorry, I don't need it anymore. So please uh, leave me, or just keep yourself on the background for the moment I need you again. Because the problem is with blocker, it's because it's a mechanism, you don't think about it. They are there. They just coming up. And so you have to try to find them out, accept them, face them, and deal with them. And then you can do something wordful with it. And please, please never say that blocker are bad. Blocker are a real good thing for people, because if we didn't have blocker, we did all those dangerous things. Uh, we said, okay, I can jump from the roof because I don't have fear. I jump from the roof, and everybody can imagine what's happening when you jump from the roof. It's not very healthy. So those blocker are useful, but the mechanism is not useful. So if you recognize them, if you know that you have blocker and you know where they are for, you can use them on the moment you need them. The next slide, please. Be an orange. An orange, that nice round orange, has a balance. And it's not only internal, it's not only the fruit, it's also to the outside. So we have to try to be balanced. And that was what I was saying about the orange. An orange is balance between mind, heart, health, and fun. The extra balance is work, social, family. So try to be an orange and try to find the balance with those things, because it's not your product that's doing very good and that people say, oh, that solution I was waiting for. It's how you present your product, how you are in balance, and how you are reacting with with your environment. Because um, um, and okay, I give an example. I think it's an example. There are people who are authentic, and I use for this example always, not always, but I like to use it. The two presidents of the United States. When we name Obama and when we take Trump, they both are authentic. So it doesn't say anything if they're good or bad, but they reach people, they make people mad, they make people angry, they make people happy. So there is something that that they touch you with. And um, okay, it's not a secret, I'm not a fan of Mr. Trump. um, and even when I see him in television, I almost get angry, even when he don't tell anything. So he is interacting with me. He is an orange. An orange doesn't mean you're good, you're bad, you are funny, you are uh, intellectual. It only it only says that you are authentic and that you can reach people. And so um, I don't tell anybody that if you are authentic and you present your product authentic, that people said, okay, I have to buy it or I have to fund it or anything. But people will hear to you, and they. If I get, I am with the business angels in Latvia, and when there is a pitch, and people say, yeah, I have a solution. We want to try to help people who can't read books. It's nothing doing with me. If somebody tell me that he, for example, his grandfather couldn't read and he learned to read and he was so happy and read a lot of books, but there was no money for books. And then he, in his village, he made something that they exchanged books. That's something what can touch me. But just, okay, here I have a solution. Don't do anything with me. Can I have the next slide? Less is more. One of the, I think one of the most important things of lean management is work smarter, not harder. Um, in the time lean management was made in Japan by Toyota, uh, there was in Japan really people try to get most of the most out of the from the work, and the people had to work really hard. There was system that there are that they registered how many things you did, how many things you made, and um, it wasn't very smart. And a lot of people are only working, 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 working. They were not happy. They were not really uh, with the company. Were a kind of slaves. When I think of my youth, I lived a long time with my grandma and my grandpa, and my grandfather was working in the harbors in Rotterdam, and the only thing he had in life was working, and on Sunday he goes to the church. And I'm happy to pronounce that this is not the working ethic anymore. Uh, I think in a lot of companies, they recognize that people are oranges, that they are authentic, that they have needs, that they they need to have communication, they have to need interaction, and they have to have fun with working. And so um, with lean management, we try to make to work smarter, and it means that you have to ask the people who doing the work, how can we do a smarter work, and how can we make the process so that you have fun from it, that you respect your colleagues, and that you uh, uh, have enough time to find a real balance with family, with social, with working, with all the inner things. And if you are working balanced, and that is uh, really for those people who are on the last steps of the incubator, try to work smart. So look what your needs are and bring them together to the final step. To do that, you have to make decisions, and decisions are um, are not okay. I drink a coffee, so I made a decision to drink coffee. That's something you do. You don't think about it. You don't feel about it. You don't listen to your heart. So a decision is is always a balance. The balance from everything you are, and that makes that you do this or do this that. All those um, all those things you do on a day, and like drinking a coffee, or write a letter, or reading an email, or doing a presentation. If you're just doing it, it's not a decision. It's just something you do. And most of the time, those pseudo decisions uh, are um steered by blocker. So, and a blocker can't be authentic. A blocker can't be a real decision. So, um, try to make decisions and are peaceful with it, because every decision you take as a balanced person, they are worthful, and everyone else who is open for that can decide can understand your decision, because it's had a life, it has heart, it has brain, it had everything. And how more round or balanced you are, it's easier to explain your decisions, because uh, you always find something where you can touch somebody else with, because there are people that are more brains, there are people that are more emotional, there are people are more uh, on their body, there are people there are hundreds of things where people can uh, where their antennas are, how they talk with, or how they communicate with other people. So if you're around, you are communicating of, I would say, hundreds of levels. So you always reach somebody with it. If you communicate just like on a very intellectual or on a very business way, like I see with a lot of pitches that people made business plans really, really good, but uh, if that's the only thing is you presentate, and you don't presentate how many work you put in it, how many heart you put in it, how many thoughts you had about it, then it's just a piece of paper. Can I have the next picture? Or was did I do have to look? No, it was the last one. Um, so coming back to the incubator, to hackathons, to the projects where you all have, I really believe that you all work so hard on it. Try to be on this last steps. Try to be round. Try to really communicate. Try to be an orange, and try to be authentic. And authentic, okay, you always can uh, ask yourself, okay, what's my heart saying? What do I feel? What I think about it? What is my external balance? So, what is my family saying about this? What's are my in my social environment? What my friends are telling about it? Uh, when you have colleagues, what are my colleagues telling about it? And try to really make it round. Try to have fun, because uh, special with those last steps you are making, trying to make your program working. Um, I know it's very difficult to have fun, because there is a lot of work you have to do. There is a lot of talking you have to do. So, uh, but try to have fun, because um, I think in the working area, in uh, making programs like the incubator, like the programs you all are involved with. Um, we do feeling a lot about them. Sometimes we are angry because we didn't make it. Sometimes we are very proud because we made a real solution. But I think we often forget to have fun. Fun is an emotion too. It's not something like it's not important. Um, if you don't laughing, a lot a day. And I especially don't say once, two, three, four times a day. You have to laugh a lot. You have to laugh a lot a day because fun is very important to be authentic. And um, I think it makes you happier. So uh, to come to the end, be an orange, be an orange and be authentic. And then you win.
Thank you very much, Simon, for this presentation. Thank you for sharing with us the wisdom that you've gathered throughout the years and the experience. And thank you for synthesizing it in such a simple way. Would you mind giving us a couple of examples on how are you doing it so that we can afterwards open for a discussion?
Yeah, of course. Um, when when I make a project, um, I and it's I think very human. You have your thoughts about it, or you have an idea, and you said, "Okay, that's great. I want to do that." Um, I always, and I do this always. I always lay it down, sleep at night, and stay waking up and look. Is it still important for me? Because I have a lot of ideas. There are the next day. I said, huh? What shall I do with it? It's nothing really. It's coming from outside. It's not really in me. Then I try to find out what my blockers are in this ID, in this special in this ID or in this project. Um, okay, for example, I work with a company in Germany where we do digitalizing processes, and I always have to remember when we do a small project in that, when I talk to the people who are working on the floor, that I keep away from my blocker to judge very quick because that are when you talking about people who are working in a warehouse. Uh, your first idea is okay. That are very normal people who are working. They are bringing goods from A to B, and if I be aware of my blocker, I can open myself, and most of the time, so special things are happening because people are touching me, people are surprising me with answers, with ideas, with thoughts, with how they work, how they stand in life, how they feel about working there. So I recognize the blocker, start working with the people, and try to be open. Then, okay, I come back in the office, and then I have to write down something because, okay, in my job, when I do some consulting, I have to write a report or do I have to write something that I can give to these companies. And in those words, I try to give those uh, companies, chefs, or uh, the people who hired me, I try to give them back what I felt with working with those people. And the first time I did that, I really know that if it was yesterday, I was very afraid how the company is going to take this because it's not a normal way. Normally, you write down it's not efficient how people are working. They have to do the work like this, and then it's better and it's go quicker, and that's the profit for the company. And since I try to bring in what I really felt and which people I met and what impressions they give me, uh, I'm working on completely other level with those companies, and it's not. Uh, it's still business level. but it's not about figures. It's about how we people can work together, how we can interact, and um, so uh, you have to step over your own shadows, because um, you have to do something what's not normal in this time. It's not normal in this time to uh, uh, in a company, or where you're working, to talk about feelings, to talk about your emotions, to talk about how people touch you, how uh, if that you are unsure about some things. So uh, you have to be, yeah, okay, you have to make that step, and after you make that step, it's great. It's really great, because uh, you notice it's not giving you a lot of things, it's giving the other people where you're working with a lot of things, and then you can be great.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for this great example. So, if I may summarize in just one sentence, so what you're advising our incubatees to do is to bring more of their users uh, up front when they do and when they pitch on demo day, so that we can really understand the user, the feelings of the users, and the ups and downs they
Yeah,
go through, so that we
not
can
only not
help them
only the, not
better.
only not only the user, also my own
Yes,
feelings and thoughts, because
yes.
uh, it's not the people are in the incubator, and they're coming all from hackathons. They are not they didn't get assigned to this project. They didn't get a paper and say, okay, here is a solution, here's a problem, here's a solution, please make it.
Mhm.
They thought, they had their own thoughts about what the problem is. They had their own thoughts about what the solution is, and that's a whole process where uh, they had their own feelings about is it a really problem,
Mhm.
uh, because Um, if you tell me, yeah, uh, the problem is all the people can do shopping. It's uh, uh, it's a regular problem in hackathons.
Yeah,
All the people
yeah.
can do shopping
Mhm,
in Corona time.
mhm.
And uh, if I just say that, it's almost like the gevulde koek. It's very flat. But if I tell you what my thoughts were about it, uh, that I met people who couldn't do their shopping, and how they feel about it, and um, that it makes me angry on Corona, that it's make me proud that I make a solution. That's something where you can win with
Beautiful, beautiful.
not only with the solution.
Okay, we have Adela who has a very interesting question.
Yeah.
Adela, would you like to unmute yourself and ask the question?
Sure. Thank you, Simon, for sharing with us your wisdom. A little question now in view of the pitch. We have in the incubator people who maybe did not receive this kind of big funds before, and who work for the first time with maybe VC, if they make, of course, a winning pitch. And they're a little bit shy, so somehow they might feel like, wow, it's not authentic of me to ask for this amount of money and play in this area. What would you advise these people?
Be shy. Be shy. Yeah, that's really, be shy. And shy. Okay, shy can be a blocker. So being shy was something wordful in the past,
Mhm.
but also shy is always combined with emotions, and um, so um, um, be shy and tell those people that you're not feeling comfortable with asking for so much money, but that you believe that you have a great project, because um, it's it's not authentic to say, okay, I'm shy, but now I have to pitch, and I say, okay, please hear me. I want your money. It's not working. And people notice that, and they will think, what is somebody telling me? So be shy, uh, and share that with in your pitch that you're not feeling comfortable with it. It's not a thing you're usually doing, but you overwin that a little bit because you believe on a good project, and that you believe on that your solution is worthful, and that your solution is worth it to go on after the incubator. And as I noticed that with so much people or so many teams in hackathons and in the incubator too did so much work, and they did it in their free time, and they were enthusiastic about it, and they had meetings in their free time on evenings, in the weekends. And uh, I had some teams with hackathons. They wake me up middle in the night because they had thoughts, and they want to share them with me. So there is so much energy in these projects, and you have to use it. So, but if you are shy, you are shy. So that's no problem. But don't try to mask uh, or to do you're not shy, because everybody who is listening to a lot of pitches will recognize that on the first moment. They will see, "Putsch, there's something playing theater, making something, but um, okay, you can uh, see that with theater. So if you go in the theater and you see a play, the one play you think okay, and the other play is really touching you because people are really the person they play. And in a pitch, you have to be the person you play, and that's yourself.
I agree with that. Thank you very much. I believe in authenticity as well.
Okay. Other questions?
Thank you very, very much, Adela. Who else?
If there are no more questions, I have to eat something in Riga time because
Okay.
here it's 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to share this with you. I thank you for being here and spend your time with me. I hope you have learned something there from that. I'm learning all the time from working in programs like the Incubator and the Hackathon versus Virus, How to Change the World. And I'm very grateful that there are people like you who making such amazing projects. Thank you very much.
Yes, I want to second Simon's thanks to all of you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for staying a little bit hungrier, just like we are at the moment. And on Friday morning from 8:15, we will have Adela, our very own Adela, who just asked this beautiful and important question, who will be letting you know um, how you can better know your user target and how you can better position their opinion, their thoughts, their feelings, their authenticity during your pitch, right? And
Thank you.
following, yes, and following that, at 12:15, we will have Daniel Dobos. He will be sharing his word of wisdom and his knowledge because he used to work at CERN and he's very much still collaborating with CERN on how to manage teams so that they become high performance teams. Thank you so much and see you on Friday. Have a lovely Thursday.
You too all, and thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.